Hey guys, just wanted to make a quick video going over why I think you should consider rolling for Scotty. I woke up this morning to an onslaught of all caps, do not roll for Scotty thumbnails on YouTube. And while I think a lot of these videos make good points you should take into consideration, I don't think they really paint a full picture. So I have two main topics I want to touch on regarding Scotty: her use as a farming support and her use everywhere else. So to start off, the majority of the critiques surrounding Skadi have to do with her farming viability, namely the lack thereof once Castoria drops. As someone who plays both NA and JP, I'll be the first to admit the idea of downgrading from Castoria farming to Skadi farming is kind of anxiety inducing. Castoria setups are far more consistent when it comes to farming, and there really isn't a competition as to which is better. However, I have three counterpoints to this. One, Scotty setups are still usable in a lot of future scenarios, particularly in rerun events. A lot of the issues with Scotty farming don't really start to rear their head until after Delightworks starts cater making nodes for Castoria, which isn't an immediate thing, it's a gradual process. Two, some of the newer servants, such as Summer Okita Altar for example, actually makes Scotty farming a little more viable. I still don't think it's as good as Castoria setups, but I still think it's something to keep in mind when thinking about if you want to roll for Scotty. And then three, Castoria is still 7-ish months away. People in the gacha community have this really bad habit of saying, oh, don't bother getting X because Y is coming out later. Here's the thing, at some point, you have to start enjoying the game. Even if you only get 7 months of use out of Scotty, isn't it worth it if it made your life a little easier during that time? Plus, I can't overstate how much mileage you can actually get out of her in that time. So look at all your 5 stars and take note of how many of them are at Bond 10. I promise Scotty will at least be Bond 10 by the time you finish using her, which isn't something you're going to be able to say about every servant you have or will roll for. The second topic I want to touch on is Scotty's use outside of farming. So, my JP account has every major support except for Scotty, and as someone who likes a lot of quick servants, I can't begin to tell you how much that sucks. The upcoming arts and buster meta shifts are going to really raise servants' damage dealing potential significantly. A lot of people view this as a reason to disregard Scotty, but I honestly think that's the wrong way of looking at it. If you have quick servants you want to continue using over the next 2 years, you need Skadi more than ever, because without her, your damage isn't going to be comparable to Arts or Buster. Skadi isn't going to make it as good, not by a long shot, but it's going to make it good enough that you don't feel bad for using your quick servants. Going back to my JP account, I have a ton of single target boss killers that I absolutely adore. However, I don't use them because they're quick. You can use support Skadi in conjunction with your Castoria, for example, but that's still a significant damage loss, particularly for servants like Kama, who get a lot of damage from their quick card criticals. You probably lose out on 25% of your damage only using one Skadi, and this is a huge deal when you're trying to keep your quick servants relevant to modern content. Losing 25% of your damage in a Vitch setup isn't that big of a deal, because now you're only dealing 1.5 million damage instead of 2 million damage to a 400,000 HP break bar. Oh no. But losing that amount of damage for your quick servants could be the difference between breaking that bar or not breaking that bar. And at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is that you broke it, not how much excess damage you can do on top of that. I will say, Scotty's utility leaves a lot to be desired in most content, but ideally you'd want to plug suit in Castoria anyways, so that's why I'm kind of hyper fixating on the small damage increase. But it genuinely does matter that much. Believe me when I say, Scotty has been a unit I've wanted a rerun of the most since I've started a JP account, and that's for a good reason. Anyways, I could get into this a lot more, but what I've said so far surmises my feelings pretty well. We're just talking about a servant in a gacha game, so I don't really feel the need to start writing a thesis on the topic. But TLDR, if you have quick servants you like and you want to continue using, get Scotty. You don't already have a good farming servant and want to make the next 7 months more bearable? Get Scotty. You just like cultured waifus? Get Scotty. Otherwise, you're fine listening to what everyone else is saying about skipping her. Just use your own judgment to kind of determine what's going to bring you the most enjoyment both in the short term and the long. And with that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you again next time. Later.